Doncaster point of view. There's no Matty Baharrell, who has been really key to everything that they've done in the middle of the field since he joined mid-season from Keighley Cougars. Made 9 appearances, and there's also Brad England, who is missing as well. But we're underway. It's a long kick from Doncaster, right the way down to the right corner. Underneath that was Ryan Smith, and he immediately found the running of, was that Johnny Walker?
Johnny
who carried the
Walker,
battle in there?
Yeah, I think it's important for North Wales Crusaders to have a great start, complete the set. I think Anthony Murray's message will be complete the first 5 sets and put a good kick in. It's all about, keeping the momentum going.
And certainly that's what they're doing at the moment through the middle, using big forwards. Warren Thompson gets up and plays it. Lee Hudson passes out to his left-hand side to that vastly experienced man, Stephen Wild. Good run from him.
Yeah, great run for Stephen Wild. Obviously a bit of a change there. Lee Hudson has started for North Wales Crusaders. Aaron Moore on the bench as Johnny Walker receives the inside pass and takes the tackle on the 5th and last tackle.
They'll be happy to get up to halfway, won't they, at this stage?
Absolutely, and a good kick will be even better, but it lets it bounce. You never let the ball bounce, but be careful how Doncaster receive this. They get it eventually. The tackle is completed, and a good kick potentially, but you never let the ball bounce.
That was a really good take in the end, though, and it puts Doncaster on the front foot as they push their way beyond the halfway line. Moving into dummy half is Kyle Keswick. He's been granted a Rugby League testimonial for next year. 10 years at Doncaster. Sign on for another season, of course. Doncaster taking things through the middle again.
So it's important now for North Wales Crusaders to control the ruck speed from Doncaster. Once they get a bit of a ground, they are dangerous, and we saw a bit of a glimpse of it there.
Good run from Hedges, testing out the defence. Now they're bringing it through the middle again through Ryan Boyle, another vastly experienced campaigner. Ireland international, spent time with Castleford and Salford. Let's move down the left with Hedges. And they're going ever so close there. Tell you what, they smuggled the ball out of the tackle, but it's gone in favour of the North Wales Crusaders, who have pounced on it, and they'll be happy with that defensive work, won't they?
Yeah, it was easy there to sort of say, oh my God, Doncaster are getting close, but they controlled that. They slowed the ruck speed down, and their scrambling defence is pretty impressive for North Wales Crusaders. They're renowned for that, for sort of scrambling defence, and they showed it there.
2 minutes in, no score, as Earlhurst takes a further carry forward. They're about 30 metres away from their own line, bringing it down the left-hand side. Jack Houghton it was with the run, former Widnes player. He'll play it to Hudson. Hudson passes to his right-hand side to Thompson, who gets rid of it quickly. Ashall thought about kicking it, then handed on to Ryan Smith, who does just that, kick it downfield. It's controlled off the boot from Richard Owen, and he sends it further back for some support work there.
Doncaster will be happy with that. They are going down to the fringes, and like we said in the pre-match build-up there, they're not used to playing on a narrow pitch, and I noticed that they're taking the ball to the out wide to begin with and coming infield.
That was Jordan Howden, who just passed that ball to his left-hand side. He's now moved into a more central position as the drive has come in there from Doherty. Howden takes command again, shuffles it to his left. Hedges through the hands out to Owen. Owen taking the defence on. He's almost broke the tackle. He's inside the 20. Just dragged down at the last second. Still 0-0. Comes infield again. Now a straightforward drive to the heart of the defence. Keswick, head on a swivel, checking left and right. Takes it down the left. Little kick forward from him. That's a great kick. Has he got the touchdown? No, it's knocked down over the try line, so it's back to the 20-metre line for the tap restart.
Yeah, North Wales Crusaders will be happy with that. They sort of defended the threat, and even better now, they got a penalty.
So that's the first penalty of the game. Heading the way of the North Wales Crusaders. Tom Crashley is our match referee for the game, in case we didn't check him at the start of the game. Plays up towards the halfway line. Hudson to tap it. Turns the ball to his left to Smith. Smith then finds the big figure that is Johnny Walker. Played some amateur rugby down at Lee East before turning professional with Crusaders in 2012. Crusaders moving the ball through the hands. Ashall onto Johnson. Now onto Earlhurst. Testing out the defence, so he spilled it.
He lost the ball there, and that was great play by North Wales Crusaders originally there. A loose carry, and Doncaster will be happy with that. And North Wales Crusaders going out wide themselves, and we're making some good yards forward, weren't they?
I think you can also give some credit there to Connor Bauer, though. He was on the retreat with the tackle and did a real good job there, did the Doncaster centre. Played in 15 games so far this year. So it's going to be a scrum to Doncaster, about 30 metres out from their own line. Ball comes out to the back. They'll fancy the chances on the attack, bringing it through the middle. Keswick moves into dummy half again. He's got Boyle standing just out to his left, but it goes past him into the arms of Tarley. Been looking forward to seeing how he goes.
Yeah, North Wales Crusaders will be keeping an eye on him. Of course, Doncaster's top try scorer, and you can see why, because he's got a bit of a pace on him. And so far, they're doing a good job. The North Wales Crusaders. The Doncaster are going down the middle, and they attack. It takes 3 or 4 men to tackle the Doncaster player down.
40 metres away from the try line of Doncaster. Keswick shuffles it to his right. Howden releases the pass further wide to Frankie Mariano, another player that has plenty of Super League experience. Well over 150 career appearances for Mariano now. 25 metres away from the try line. Last tackle signal. They're moving it down this right hand side. Kick comes in as a little bit of a last option. And it was well confidently taken there by Tommy Johnson.
That's good kick pressure there by Jordan Houghton. He made sure he made Doncaster uncomfortable, put good kick pressure, and that's Anthony Murray and North Wales Crusaders will be happy with the start here as Earl Hurst trying to go. Well, that's another loose carry, but the referee gives it a knock on. Well, Earl Hurst is not having a good couple of minutes here. He needs to recover fast.
He's a bit of a confidence player as well, isn't he, Earl Hurst?
He is, and he's apologised to his mates. But if Earl Hurst plays well, that vibe goes through the team, and big sort of test on him personally. How does he get over this? And let's hope it doesn't affect him and the North Wales Crusaders line.
But Doncaster, they'll be looking at other options as it comes out to Hedges. Hedges releases it out wide to Tarley. Tarley, big handoff. Spinning and twisting. He's heading towards the touchline and he's pushed over. That's some good work there from North Wales Crusaders to force him out.
And that's the reaction Anthony Murray would be hoping for, from a mistake. The North Wales Crusaders just sort of went together and the next play, in effect, they put him into touch. So that is probably the best possible outcome North Wales Crusaders would have hoped for there. They've had a good start here.
So they'll be really thankful of getting hold of the ball again. So that mistake from Hurst didn't really come to much in the end, did it?
No, and I think that is that could be a big test. Mentally, okay, it's early on in the game, but it's an opportunity now for Earl Hurst to make up. He's a very strong ball carrier, and he will make 3 or 4, 5 metres forward. Hudson. Trying to speed it up.
He put himself forward then, didn't he, to take that first carry?
He did, and that's probably the best. If you made a mistake, the best opportunity, the earliest opportunity you have to get the hands in your ball, the ball in your hands rather, and get the mistake out your system.
Warren Thompson, moving towards the halfway line, plays it to Hudson. Hudson picks up and goes, reaches the halfway line now. Ashall moves into dummy half now. He's dynamic out of that position. Passes to his right hand side. Smith releases it to Johnson. Johnson releases it further wide. They've got it out to
Dan Norman, I think it was.
Now they're moving it back inside. Smith finds Ashall. Ashall puts the kick in. It's a high hanging one. Put some pressure there on Doherty, but it was illegal pressure, and they get the penalty to Doncaster.
Again, you can see what North Wales Crusaders are trying to do. They're putting the high bombs up and putting pressure on the Doncaster sort of defensive line, or the fullback, I should say. You just need to tidy up that last tackle option. Improve on the execution. That would be the message that Anthony Murray, the head coach of North Wales, will be saying.
First run coming in of the set from Connor Bauer. Now Keswick trying to scheme, feeds it to Boyle. He then finds some support to his left hand side from Maranka. He's lost the ball, however. North Wales Crusaders have recovered it. They picked it up and they've somehow got towards the halfway line.
Yeah, nerves are plenty, aren't they? Both teams making a fair few mistakes early on in this game. It just needs to settle down, and North Wales Crusaders are in good position here. They're sort of middle of the field. Hudson
For
to Warren
Thompson.
Thompson. Hint of a forward pass there. Referee says no, play on, and he plays it, and it's back to 6 here. It's a free play. Hudson will take the tackle, so another 6 tackles from here. This is a good platform for North Wales Crusaders to build. This is Dan Norman, and Dan Norman will take the tackle.
So Hudson moves into dummy half. He's got options to his left and to his right. Sends it to the right. Thompson releases it to Smith. Smith out to Johnson. Johnson kicks for the corner. Tell you what, they'll put some pressure on there. And it was some really good pressure, but Doncaster have recovered out in that far corner through Aaron Jones-Bishop. Now here is Owen trying to clear his lines, but that's some enthusiastic defence that has forced a drop out from North Wales Crusaders, and listen to how that's appreciated in the stand.
I'll tell you something, North Wales Crusaders are fired up for this. You know, I thought initially it was the wrong option for Tommy Johnson, but I suppose he's encouraged to play what he sees, and you know, but he turned attack into defence, and great tackle there, and North Wales Crusaders piling on the pressure.
So Doncaster look for distance with the restart, the drop kick. It's allowed to bounce, and it's trickling, and it's bouncing, and then it's taken over the touchline. Oh, they've turned a real defensive position into an attacking one now of Doncaster in one fell swoop.
Yeah, and that's how quickly the dynamics of this game will change. And you know, where you thought Doncaster were on the back foot, and how would they cope with the onslaught from Crusaders? Doncaster just do that, and it's now Doncaster's turn to turn the screw.
What a great dropout! That was fantastic, that dropout.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any wind in the field, is there? What's the condition? I don't think there's any wind. Looking at the trees here.
No, there's not much. It's pretty still, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've both reached that time of the season where we're putting on extra layers and starting to regret it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. An autumn feel here at the Queensway Stadium in Wrexham. The rain has stopped from earlier.
Here's Mariano pushing his way over that 20 metre line, 10 metres in from touch. He'll look to play it to Owen. Owen passes in field. Howden releases it, and it goes as far as Boyle. Boyle's 10 metres away from the try line, directly in front of the post. Keswick will this time attack down the right. Howden onto Owen. Owen further wide. Bauer got rid of it quickly. Doherty's just put down short of the try line by Ashall. Only a couple of metres out. Now they'll attack down that right hand side again. Solid running from Howden.
They're targeting the North Wales Crusaders left wing. They're obviously thinking that Earl Hurst is vulnerable, but you would do that. But he's recovered, hasn't he? You know, he's made some great tackles there and stopped the Doncaster threat.
Maranka gets within 5 metres of the try line. Last tackle of this set. Ball will go up in the air from Hedges. It's a great kick to the corner. Confident takeover on that far side. And over on that far side, is that Jake Knox or is that
Jake
Alec
Knox,
Davis?
yes. No, it's Jake Knox, that. A good player he is, and yeah, it was Jake Knox.
A man with no number. Ball comes to the middle, and there's another man with no number. That'll be Alec Davis, won't it?
Yes.
First carry for him at first team level for Crusaders. Lovely little story about him, which we'll catch up on at half time. Johnson gets to halfway. He'll play this ball in the centre of the field. Atherton will take the next carry. I like Atherton. He's very twisty-turny when he gets into the tackle, isn't he?
Yeah, Atherton made his return for North Wales Crusaders after a serious injury from after the Newcastle Thunder game.
The building play down this left-hand side. Sorry to cut across you there, Conrad. As Hurst is brought down inside that 20-metre mark. Johnson at dummy half. Long ball to the middle. Warren Thompson gets it, drives at the heart of the defence, 10 metres away from that try line. Last tackle signalled, dummy to the right, bringing it to the left. That's a lovely ball from Ashall to Hurst. As Hurst got it down, he's held up. That's a magnificent tackle in the end.
Great defence by Doncaster there, but great attack as well by North Wales Crusaders. You know, they're not going to let Doncaster win this easy, are they?
14 minutes of the game gone, still 0-0, and both sides have had a sniff of the try line, haven't they?
Absolutely, but both of them are evenly matched at the minute, aren't they?
They are, yeah. It's looking like it's warming up to become a really good game, this one, as Doncaster looking to clear their lines from deep inside their own half. As it moves into dummy half again, looks initially to the right, then passes down the left-hand side. Good work from him. And good work from Doncaster as well, looking to get further forward. Scrappy play the ball, but Keswick retreats for it. Here's Boyle doing some rough, tough stuff in that middle, taking on the entire North Wales front row then. Ball back with Hedges. Hedges gets a long kick downfield Tell you what, that's a good kick. He's found a great touch, just 5 metres out from the try line.
Yeah, absolutely. A great kick. It's a 40-20, is it? Yeah, 40-20. Good kick.
It is. It's a magnificent kick, that. So Keswick will tap. And forward come Doncaster again, fancying their chances. Just in front of the posts. Keswick awaits dummy half duties. Ball pass right to Boyle. Little run around with Keswick. Then he launches it down that right-hand side. Ball is smuggled out to Owen. Good work from Howden. And Owen held 2 metres out from the try line. Keswick, where's this ball going to go? It's going to go left. Hedges drops it back over his shoulder for Maranka. Maranka straightens up. That's Serbian international, once upon a time with Dewsbury Rams. Ball on the left-hand side. Hedges delayed his pass, forwarded it through, and they're nearly on that try line again.
Great scrambling defence there by North Wales Crusaders. It had to be as well, but the threat's not over. Is he over? Yes, he is. Doncaster have scored the first try here.
First try of the game. And what's more, it's scored by Russ Spears, who's on a bit of a try-scoring run at the moment. I think it's 7 tries now for the season for him.
Yes, and obviously repaying his faith in the coach. Obviously extended his contract for Doncaster this week.
So 4 points still in favour of the visitors.
That was, we said at the beginning of the game, didn't we? How would Doncaster utilise this narrow pitch? The answer is a kicking game. It's caught North Wales Crusaders out a couple of times, and I just thought it was the barn door was creaking for North Wales Crusaders there. It was probably a soft try to concede, but Doncaster will be happy with that. If you look at it, the markers were not square. Yeah, and Doncaster utilised it.
Lovely delayed pass, though. You've got to say, I mean, that was superbly worked. They spotted the chance in front of them and just worked with the numbers, didn't they?
Absolutely, and that was quick, acted half-back play. That.
So we have the conversion attempt. It's Hedges, kicked 9 goals so far this season. Obviously, with no Matty Baharrel out there, they've also had to look towards a different goal kicker. Baharrel has kicked 31 goals so far this season in 9 appearances. So Hedges, the Australian, steps up, left-footed. The flags are raised. It's 6 points to 0 in favour of the visitors.
I think both sets of coaches will be happy with the start of their teams. It's been a very competitive game. We all said about North Wales Crusaders trying to get the best start, complete the first 5 sets. They haven't done that quite, and that's probably the difference. Doncaster are a lot more tidier. They have executed little plays a bit better than North Wales have, and that's the difference.
Remember that you can also tweet us. Just use the hashtag #OurLeague, and we'll see if we can read some out during half-time, or if there's any that catch our eye during the course of the game. But 6-0 in favour of Doncaster. 17 and a bit minutes gone. Tommy Johnson gets us underway again with a deep restart kick, and Ryan Boyle to run it back into contact. He makes it 15 metres from his own line, gets barreled back about 5 metres there, thanks to a good 3-man challenge in the middle by North Wales. Leading the charge there was Stephen Wild. So Doncaster still trying to cut their way forward. Keswick picks up from dummy half, sends it to Maranka. Maranka's put down near the halfway line. Ball work to the right-hand side now. Tell you what, some excellent work there. Coming down the field, they'll be happy with the work in this set so far. Well, Doncaster as Keswick passes to his left for that last try scorer, Russ Spears. He got rid of the ball as well.
Yeah, North Wales Crusaders need to watch the offload.
They're looking lively, aren't they?
They kick it early and again. This kicking game is it's becoming effective for Doncaster.
That's a brilliant set. A brilliant set for Doncaster.
Absolutely.
If you can't actually get points, the first thing that you want to do is look at turning your opponents round inside their own 10, and that's just what they've done.
But also stopping North Wales Crusaders playing. Doncaster want to dictate the pace of this game, turn them around, and hopefully, Doncaster will. It will be positive for them later on in this game. Basically slow the play down, zap the energy from North Wales Crusaders.
Well, I noticed a bit of water already being taken on by North Wales Crusaders players in particular. They'll take possession now.
The great tactics.
Was that Warren Thompson running out of the scrum?
Warren Thompson, yes.
Picked up by Ashall. He passes to the left-hand side to Houghton, who's had a good season. He's only missed a couple of games over the course of the year, but I've come up with the commentator's curse because he's tried a crazy offload, and Doncaster back in possession.
Well, it wasn't on there.
Run from dummy half by Spears, rattled to the ground on that occasion though. Looking dangerous coming forward, sending play down the right-hand side. I tell you what, they did well there, Connor Bauer, to take that one in. He'll play it to Doherty. Doherty passes in field. Howden gets rid of it quickly. This is Maranka. Big charge, big tackle. Still just inside that 10-metre mark. Directly in front of the post. Keswick brings it right. Chance here for Spears again.
Well, if Northwest Crusaders survive this defensive set, they'll be happy. And they've got to be careful from close range. The referee says, no, you haven't put the ball down.
Good challenge there by Ashall. Good challenge there as well by Houghton, who made the error in the first place.
Absolutely.
I think he's redeemed himself in the eyes of his teammates.
Yeah, but if you're not going to score, if you're going to give the ball away, well, that's the best place on the field to do it, isn't it?
Oh, you can't disagree. Can't disagree with you at all, Conrad. So Crusaders have it again, 15 metres out from their own line. It's picked up by Hudson, who sends it right to Atherton. Atherton's now 30 metres from his own try line. Just shuffling play off down the right-hand side before bringing it back to the middle.
Tom Norman taking that ball in. They've looked after him, haven't they, Doncaster?
And again, some solid surging running through the middle, determined from Crusaders. Hudson completes the set, looks for a long kick downfield just to turn Owen round. Owen picks it up. Ooh, not sure about that pass, but Jones Bishop has dropped it. It's been picked up. It could be going in here. Tell you what, they're not far off.
And that's the mistake Northwest Crusaders were hunting for. The unforced error there, and Northwest Crusaders with a golden opportunity to reply after that try. They go wide to Earlhurst, and it's Alan Davis that will score a try on his debut.
Great work down that left-hand side. Some superb hands. Earlhurst lined it up, and Davis touches it down. You can't get much better than scoring on your debut, can you, Conrad?
No, and when he celebrated, you know, that meant a lot for him, and I know his parents are in the stands, and that will be a very proud moment for him, as well, for their parents as well.
So tell us a little bit about him, because obviously he's on debut today. He's one of Crusaders' own players, isn't he?
Yeah, Ali Davis has come from the Northwest Crusaders A team, so we say. They play in the Northwest Counties League. It's, you know, we set it up at the beginning of this season. Obviously, he's had stints with Crossfields. He's represented Wales at Dragon Hearts level, and he's come through the ranks. He's played for North Wales Origin, which is the like the county team repped up here. So he has got a bit of quality. Anthony Murray has fancied him. He's been coaching with the first team for about. He's been training with the first team for about sort of 4 months now. He had a bit of an ankle niggle, so it's delayed his first team debut, but given the opportunity today.
And a solid try as well. Lovely finish. 6 points to 4 at the moment, still in favour of Doncaster, but with Tommy Johnson on kicking duties, anything could happen.
Yeah, Tommy Johnson, a very strong kicker, and I think this is his best side actually. It's tight on the touch line. He's composing himself and taking a few seconds. Going up to his run, strikes it. It's got the distance and it's got the length as well. The flags go up and we're locked up here at Queensway. Six apiece.
What a brilliant kick that was from Tommy Johnson. His 62nd successful goal of the year takes him to 144 points as well for the season. Which isn't bad considering he's missed about 8 to 9 games, isn't it?
He has, and to be honest with you, he's missed more games this year than all the time. He is a stalwart, but he is Mr. Crusaders on the field. You know, he's a gentleman to the fans. Fans love him, and Ryan Smith did well to get that there.
So here come Crusaders again, back in possession. Less than 10 metres away from their own line, under a little bit of pressure. Here's Jake Knox. Taking on some of the biggest forwards. He's certainly not scared of bringing it forward there. Another good run coming in, clearing the lines. That's Joe Bates on the charge. And forward come Crusaders again, doing some real solid stuff to get away from their own end.
Yeah, I think North Wales Crusaders have settled down now. They're controlling the game a lot better, aren't they? They've worked out where Doncaster's weakness is. Earlhurst trying to make up for his early mistakes, and what a run that was.
Yeah.
Want to get on with it quickly, though. Hudson will take to find Ashall. Ashall to Smith. Smith will put a little dink over the top, or will put a kick over the top.
Oh, that's a good kick.
It is a good kick. It's straight down the throat of Tyre, though.
Well taken by Tarley. Did really well there, did Tarley, to take that ball. Just had to retreat for it. Here's Aaron Jones-Bishop. Won't remind him of the last time he took the ball in when he lost it, and it resulted in points. Oh, little mistake on the ground. They'll be disappointed with that, Doncaster.
Yeah, they will. I was just wondering, coming into this game, Doncaster know how important this game is. They're on the cusp of breaking a club record. They know a win here would guarantee them a third place finish. I wouldn't have thought that the lads won't be thinking of that, will they, Dave? The coach would have prepared you. That will look after itself. Just play the game as normal. I haven't watched Doncaster many times this year, but these are not common mistakes, are they, that they normally make?
You wouldn't think it. A side that's been scoring points for fun and has scored over 1,000 has obviously been keeping hold of the ball a little bit better. Let's see whether things will improve. We've got this short stoppage at this moment in time whilst one of the Doncaster players is receiving attention. Got a feeling it's the centre out on that right hand side, Connor Bauer. He's had his fair share of little injury worries over the course of the season. It's given a good opportunity to get some water out there. And it's brightened up. When we arrived here, it was chucking it down, wasn't it, to put it bluntly? Yeah,
it was raining cats and dogs. We are in Wales, after all, aren't we?
I'm not going to say anything. I've enjoyed my trip over into Wales.
Yeah, it's firmed up. The pitch in good condition, by the way, haven't they? They kept, they do play athletics here, and they do use it. It is multi-purposely used, and they've done a good job.
So, North Wales Crusaders take control from the base of the scrum. Here's Ashall, looks for Johnson. Johnson taking the defence on. Good tackle there from Howden. Did really well to come up with that shot. I think it was Bauer actually, but Crusaders still in possession, pushing their way forward. Hudson moves into dummy half. Options out to his right hand side. Uses Ashall. Now it's Smith. Out to Johnson. What a tackle!
What a good read as well, because if he didn't commit to him, North Wales Crusaders would have been in there. He had to mark his man. Danger's not over yet. And they're throwing this ball around. Oh, I thought he was over the line there. Dan Norman is tackled.
Ball is played. Hudson passes to his right hand side. Here's Atherton.
Oh, he's short.
Just short of that try line. He burst onto that like a train. Hudson moves it left. Ashall double pumps it. Gets it to Smith. Low pass. Not a good one. Davis has touched down at the corner, but it's going to be brought back. Wasn't a good pass, to be honest, by Ryan Smith, that one.
No, it was a bit of a pass and hope, that. If it was, under normal circumstances.
What I do like, I like it. I like the fact that he thought about it, though. It's a positive error. I class that as a positive error.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's all about using peripheral. It's game management. He's seeing, what's space around you. Doncaster very sort of quickly closing the play down, aren't they? So North Wales Crusaders are going wide, and it's coming off for them, isn't it?
Doncaster back in possession, 30 metres away from their own line, halfway through this set. Hedges passes to his right hand side. Oh, this is the big figure for the first time, Ross Osborne. Joined on a permanent deal in July after being released by Hull. Kick comes in from Jordan Howden. And it's a real tricky one for Knox to try and deal with over on that right hand side.
Yeah, well, I suppose he was in doubt, but he did the right thing there. It bounced the right way and left it. And it's a control start for North Wales Crusaders from the scrum. It slows the game down as well. Gives the chance for North Wales Crusaders to sort of reorganise, regroup.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the Our League app. This is Betfred League One coverage. It's North Wales Crusaders taking on Doncaster, 6-all locked up here with almost half an hour gone.
Yeah, it's been a great game, Dave. It's been very competitive, hasn't it?
It has been competitive, yeah.
Both teams have had their chances. There's been equally, share of mistakes. Yeah, it's all good. And you would have thought that North Wales Crusaders sit 10th in the league on this performance.
Well, they've had quite a few chances, haven't they? They've had a few close games that they've lost. As Hurst skirts round the outside, surging. Look at him go. Handy off galore. Hand-off city from Earl Hurst.
And that's what Earl Hurst can do. You know, we have seen the good, bad and the ugly of Earl Hurst in this first half. You know, it looks like those 2 mistakes he made early on have well gone, and he's made some great runs forward, hasn't he?
Knox plays it. Hudson passes to his right. Wild gets it out. Little forward pass though from Smith to the on-rushing player, and again it's just cheap turnovers, that though.
Yeah, and that's the difference, you know, why they are in the 10th in the league. Little things like that, you know, poor execution, you know, but I'm encouraged that they are trying things like this, they've got to change it, they've got to keep Doncaster on their toes, don't they?
Remember, you can tweet us using the hashtag #OurLeague, and we'll go through the best of your tweets at half time. 10 minutes away from the break, and Tarley almost on a break of his own down that left hand side. 100 kilogram centre, you don't get many of those in League One.
No, but Northwest Crusaders did a good job there to, you know, contain him.
Hedges works it back to Osborne. He's a man mountain too. Gets towards that 20-metre line in centre field. Looks to play it. Another strong surge through that middle by Connor Scott, once upon a time of Sheffield Eagles. In fact, he spent all his career in South Yorkshire. Ball played. Hedges takes control, feeds it left. Owen all the way out to Jones Bishop. Jones Bishop flicks it back inside, and I tell you what, that is some awesome strength. That is some brilliant strength, and Jason Tarley has try number 21 of his season.
Yeah, he's a great ball handler. When he's got a bit of space, you know, he'll turn nothing into something, won't he? Okay, was it a forward pass leading up to that? Well, could have been an argument. Could be close. Is it the momentum rule?
Doesn't matter what we think. It's 10 points to 6 with the kick to come.
I know. Good try though. Good build-up work. Used the short side. Northwest Crusaders couldn't get over to tackle him, and great try. You can't take that away from him.
Just showed his strength there, didn't he? Just to shrug through a couple of tacklers on the try line.
Absolutely.
So what this does mean is it gives another opportunity for Geordie Hedges, who's been described as Richard Horne as the Mr. Fix-It, really, of the Doncaster side this year. He's played in the halves, he's played at loose forward, he's played at centre, so he really has done an overall great job. He's played 23 times for Doncaster this year. Stopping again for next year is the Australian. And let's see whether he can add his second goal of the game.
Yeah, tight on the touchline.
Taking his time, as you'd expect.
Crowd's gone hushed.
He's very respectful.
Yes.
He'd be getting booed anywhere else.
Well, maybe if he kicks one up from this side, he might do.
Always give it chances. It's just waved away, though, by our two touch judges. Ironic jeers. And some support for Crusaders now. 10 points to 6 is the score in favour of Doncaster.
Yeah, they're very vocal, the North Wales Crusaders fans. You know, they relatively travel all around the country to watch the red team. And they've been rewarded as well over the last few weeks with comprehensive victories over Hemel, West Wales and Coventry, and they'll in this one 10-6 as Doncaster trying to get out of their own half. North Wales Crusaders have made a change, by the way. Lee Hudson gone off, Aaron Moore coming on.
Working the ball well, though, down that left-hand side at the moment. Doncaster, another strong surge down that side it was, as Hedges launches it down the right. Howden links with Mariano. I think he ran behind one of his own players, didn't want to give away a penalty, just decided to yield to the tackle. Now Connor Scott, big bruising forward. Another big bruising forwards on for North Wales Crusaders in Brad Brennan. 20 appearances off the bench this year. As the kick comes in, it's a high one. It's over the head of Ashall. And he's lucky with that bounce because he had no clue what he was going to do with that.
Yeah, very, very lucky. But that's the ploy, isn't it? The kicking game is proved to be effective for Doncaster. It's dangerous. You know, they're letting the ball bounce North Wales Crusaders. I think that'll be the message at half time to title that up.
Jake Knox caught after making 5 metres forward. Run about 20 metres to his left. It was a solid tackle from Jordan Howden, that one. He's also took command of the kicking game along with Hedges for Doncaster. Now they've got a penalty of North Wales Crusaders. Man caught in the ruck. Charlie Martin it was.
Yeah, Aaron Moore using his experience, obviously getting a penalty.
He's still only a young player though, isn't he, Rob?
He is. He's the brother of Liam Moore, the official.
Oh right, yes, the referee, yeah. Excellent.
And I know he does a bit of officiating himself, so...
I like it when we get rugby league in the families. It tends to run in families, doesn't it?
Yeah, so he obviously using his knowledge, the rule book, to his advantage there.
Ashall kicking the ball too early for everybody. So he's going to get the opportunity to find maybe a better touch than he got the first time around. I think he has. I think he's found a couple more metres with that kick.
There we are. Good platform there for North Wales Crusaders to do something with. Aaron Moore will find Smith.
Is that big Joe Bate?
Joe Bate, yeah, sorry. This is Norman.
That's a good run.
It is a good run, and they're 10 metres out. Aaron Moore acting a half-back. Look at his options left and right. He tries to go left. Finds Ashall. Inside ball to Brad Brennan, and Brad Brennan is a handful to put down, and he's just short.
What a sleight of hand that was from Ashall. It was a lovely ball. Now Moore works it to Ashall in the middle. He passes right. Smith, dummies, comes back left. Oof, bet he wishes he didn't take on Osborne though. Come off second best there, I think. Forward they come again, the Crusaders. It's this young man Norman.
Yeah.
Surging down that right hand side.
Fifth and last tackle now. It'll be interesting what option North Wales Crusaders take here. They'll find Smith. Smith decides to put a little dab in the corner. It's a bit of a
great kick.
Well, it's a great kick and a good tackle there. Ali Davis marked him up, and
never mind the tackle. What about the take under pressure
absolutely,
as well? What a brilliant take that was
did.
from Sam Doherty.
He did. Fair play to
under
him.
Loads of pressure and took it well. So Doncaster once again getting the chance to clear their lines, 20 metres away from their own line as it stands at the moment. Kieran crossing at dummy half, shuffles the ball to his left. There's Miranka, uses some great footwork to escape the clutches of two players and advance 10 metres downfield. Cross goes again. Passes left to Osborne. What a collision between him and Atherton.
Well, yes, we're talking
on the
about
Richter scale, that one.
He lined him up and said, "Come to me, son."
Long kick, right down the middle of the field. It's allowed to bounce by Johnson. And then they pick it up and advance play. Brushes away from Jordan Howden in the first instance. Can't escape the clutches of two more. And to be fair, Osborne's putting himself around since he's gone on, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it is. A bit of leadership from Osborne, saying, "Calm down, guys. Let's settle this down." And that's what he has said to his
Atherton
teammates.
Down that right-hand side. Good to see him full of vim and vigour in this game. Smith out to Ashall. Ashall passes to the left again. There's Houghton. All caught. 25 metres away from the line. Last tackle signal. Moore ducks in there. Passes to his right hand side to Ashall, who goes for an aerial assault. This to test out Jones Bishop. And I tell you who gets there before everybody. Jason Tarley.
Yeah, great catch under pressure there. Second one of the game.
This is Jones Bishop. I've seen him play for Oxford. He's rapid if he gets into a gap. Scored 12 tries this season for Doncaster. No way through on that occasion. They'll continue to work their way downfield. Still inside their own half. 30 metres away from their own line. Good run. Excellent run. What brilliant work that was from Cross. And they're going through to score the third try of the game. Lovely work from Cross to get through initially. And he links with Richard Owen, who did just what all good fullbacks do, supported on the inside to take it right beneath the posts.
Yeah, absolutely. That was all about the ruck speed there. They speeded the ruck up and caught North Wales Crusaders cold there.
Owen's 11th try of the season, that, by the way, Conrad.
Yeah, great. He took that one well. Great play there by Doncaster. You know, all about speeding the ruck up, pick the ball up, and basically North Wales Crusaders couldn't recover from that. Great hands as well. Great try underneath the posts. And the score Now 14-6 with the kick to come, and obviously this conversion easier than his previous one.
What I quite like from what we've seen so far in this game, though, is the variety on the tries.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you had a wide play from North Wales Crusaders, which got Davis over. You saw Russ Spears, with thanks to a little bit of alert play at dummy half, getting over and getting through some middle defence. Then you saw Tarley at his power pack best on the left-hand side, shrugging his way through, and that was a bit of class from dummy half and support from a fullback.
Absolutely, great play there, great awareness as well, you know, and, you know, Doncaster do score some spectacular tries, and, you know, we've seen a couple this afternoon.
Hedges has goal number 2, and what's more, it stretched the advantage to North Wales Crusaders 6, Doncaster 16, just before the break.
I think the message for North Wales Crusaders now is you're leading the game, you know, just tidy up the ruck, try and sort of not make any mistakes, and just, you know, do what you're doing. They're playing well.
So back on the halfway line, North Wales Crusaders to get us back underway. Tommy Johnson has lined it up, steps in, right-footed, boots it long downfield. Howden retreats to get underneath it. This looks like a power pack run from Connor Scott. Oh, I tell you what, he targeted Moore then in the defensive line. Moore stood up perfectly. 10 metres away from his own line, he'll stand and play it. Now it's shuffled down the left-hand side. Good yards once more by Osborne. I've been impressed with him since he's gone on. I know it's been more of a cameo in this first half, but he's done well. Yeah. Now Hedges bringing it across the middle. Linking with Howden and Owen down this right-hand side to the centre Bauer. Connor Bauer will stand and play. Owen passes in field. Howden keeps it moving. This is Maranka. Liked his work as well. He's very difficult to tackle, isn't he, Maranka?
He is. Doncaster, you feel that they've upped the tempo in the last 10 minutes, and you feel that North Wales Crusaders do well to hang on here, and it's a penalty. Brett Brown in disagreement.
I think Mr. Crashler was a lot closer than we are. That just seemed to sneak out, that, didn't it?
It was, but Doncaster will opt to kick for touch and improve.
Great kick. They go back on the attack to Doncaster. In fact, they'll just continue the attack, won't they? So it's tapped, and here's Osborne. Good tackle. That's the way you've got to get him. Round the legs and one up top. 10 metres away from the try line. Maranka sends it blindside again.
Lovely ball.
On the crash was Martin. Martin 2 metres out from the line. He'll play it. Again, they're working this middle channel really well, and Connor Scott nearly smuggles his way over. 5 metres away from the try line. Ball brought right again. Oh, they just stood off Howden for a minute, and thankfully the tackle came in, which means that we go in at half-time 16-6. It's been a tale of 4 tries this first half, hasn't it, Conrad?
It absolutely has, but you've got to say that Doncaster are the better team in this first half. North Wales Crusaders, you know, have played exceptionally well, but as I say, you know, they've got to tidy up the ruck area, they've got to stop the penalties, but Doncaster, you know, in the last 10-15 minutes of that half, they upped the tempo, and that's been the difference, I think.
In the first 20 minutes, there was nothing to choose at all between the sides, was there? In fact, Doncaster opened the score after 16 minutes when Russ Spears managed to get in from close range. Hedges kicked the goal for a 6-0 advantage. Then there was a brilliant response from North Wales Crusaders with debutant Ali Davis scoring out on the left-hand wing. Brilliant conversion from the touchline from Tommy Johnson as the teams receive a standing ovation as they
you know, he will sort of make some good yards forward. He's a strong ball carrier as well. But Doncaster, well, I've been impressed with them as well. You know, the Osborne has been an influential player.
I think you must know this gentleman who sent us a message via our league. Tom has said that it's okay to be biased towards the Crusaders.
Well, no, I'm not absolutely biased. I've seen it as I call it, but there we are. I'm glad you're enjoying it anyway, Tom. I believe he's been recently hospitalised lately, so if you're out of hospital,
get better soon, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, get better soon. That's from both of us here and all the team involved in the broadcast, to be honest.
Absolutely, yes.
Right, seconds away from the start of the second half, and we're underway. Doncaster first use of possession already, switching the ball down the left hand side. Look at that for a run from Osborne. He really has impressed me, you know. I like a big lad that can run straight.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think what he brought was a bit of organisation. When Doncaster were a bit rattled in the first half, he's basically said, "Come on, lads, you know, let's calm it down." And they've gone back to structures, and they've gone, you know, and they've upped the tempo. Whether that's Connor's influence, I don't know, but it seemed when he came on, I think he's had a big influence.
Martin is put down just inside his own half. Hedges skirts across to the right, links with Howden. Howden at the back to Owens. They're moving really good down that right hand side, and that's now Bauer. Caught out on that side by Ashall. Connor Scott once again. Good drive through the middle. Good yards. They'll be happy with the way they've started this second half. He's out to Hedges on the left. He kicks on the last. He's stabbed in behind the defence. Picked up confidently by Jake Knox. Couldn't really get anywhere forward.
I think he did well there, though, because it was an awkward bounce.
Oh, little mistake from Alec Davis. He's coughed it up underneath his own post, the debutant. He won't want that in his highlights reel.
No, but he'll learn from it. And, you know, it's... well, I suppose you've got to go through things like that to become a stronger player.
Definitely. So Doncaster with first opportunity to up their advantage in the second half. Short stoppage in play whilst I think that's Simon Atherton who's receiving a little bit of attention. They'll be hoping he can continue. I've been impressed with Simon Atherton today.
Oh, he's a very strong player. You know, he rarely disappoints. You know, he's a good ball carrier, good defender as well. He's a good all-round player, and you know, let's hope that he will pass this head assessment and remain on the field of play.
So Doncaster looking to continue the way that they finished the first half into this second half. Oh, he's all right, Atherton. They've given that bit of water, that always tends to make people better. Yeah. I don't know what they put in it.
The magic sponge, yes.
But chance here for the Doncaster side. Hedges feeds, comes out to Howden. Out with a win. Owen between defenders. Owen's not that far off. Blimey, he nearly shook his way over the line then, didn't he?
He did.
Ball comes back to the middle. Here's Osborne. Big fella, 3 men on him. Just stopped in front of the posts. Here's Cross. Already shown that he's alert from dummy half once already. And held up over the try line. Good defence from Crusaders.
Yeah, great defence, and they'll grow in confidence if it continues like that.
Back to the 10-metre line where the tackle count will resume. Connor Scott releases the pass to Hedges. He puts it further out to Owen. Lovely pass down this left-hand side. Tell you what, Jones Bishop isn't that far off the line again. Martin moves into dummy half now. Long ball to the middle. Misses out a man. Picked up by Maranka. Little knock on it was by Hedges. He must have got a touch to it.
Yeah, disappointed pass there by Doncaster, but a let off by Northwest Crusaders there.
Still, as we were at half time, Crusaders 6, Doncaster 16. A tale of 4 tries, 3 of them currently in favour of the Doncaster side. And what do you think will have been said by both sets of coaches at half time while we've got this little stoppage?
I just think Richard Hall would say, carry on what you're doing. You know, just up the tempo a bit, speed it up at the ruck. Whereas with Anthony Murray, it's like cut the little mistakes out, cut the silly penalties, and you know we're on par. The Northwest Crusaders are on par with them. And
here's Earl Hurst trying to shrug his way through. He's been above par whenever he's carried the ball in, with pace and with vim and with vigour. On loan from Rochdale Hornets. They've won a penalty here of Crusaders now. Yeah, that's a manner for having that. Gives an opportunity for North Wales Crusaders to attack, and they're making a substitution. And as we speak, Brad Brennan coming off. Not sure who's coming on. Is it Dan Norman? He's done a good stint there as Brad Brennan. Certainly mixed things up in the middle. Stephen Wilde's coming on. Had a bit of experience. Ashall kicks to touch. Gains about 15 or 20 metres with that kick as well. It's a solid kick. More to tap. resplendent in the red headgear. Ashall releases the pass to the middle. The ball's going to be played by Bate. Now shuffled through the hands again. Ryan Smith, the former amateur with Lee East, Lee Miners, and also Wigan St Pat's, almost slipped through there. Bate takes another carry.
Oh, great leg drive there.
Really good work from him. Played at Rochdale previously to come into Crusaders. Ashall through the hands out to that left-hand side. Tell you what, Houghton's not that far from the line there, is he? 7 tries for him so far this season. Can they get over the line here, Crusaders? Ashall scheming out to Smith. He puts it further wide. Down this left-hand side, quick play the ball. Moore passes to no one in particular. It's been spilled. It's been picked up. Oh, he's off down the wing. This is Jones Bishop. Have they got the pace to stop him? I tell you what, Ryan Smith hasn't given up the chase, but he's going to be outpaced. And that is a magnificent turnaround as far as Doncaster were concerned. It was looking like they were really going to be struggling to contain Crusaders there. And a little slip, a little pass that goes to ground. And, well, Jones Bishop is down there for his 13th try of the season.
Yeah, 12-point turnaround that potentially. You know, it was an untidy pass by Aaron Moore, and then it was just picked up, and he just said good night, shut the door and said good night, and put the foot on the accelerator and said thank you very much. Great try that.
And that's certainly put a bit more daylight between these two sides. 20 points to 6 in Doncaster's favour with the kick to come. That try coming 6 minutes inside the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, North Wales Crusaders were a good platform there. Doncaster, you know, were defending pretty well actually, but that's how quickly this game can turn. An untidy pass there. I just felt that the North Wales Crusaders defenders just stopped, as if, you know, they thought that the ball was going out. And you know, Aaron Moore acknowledged to his mate, "Sorry guys," and the game was still being, you know, the ball was still live, and basically that half second was enough for you know, Doncaster to score. I
love seeing those long-range wingers tries, though. They're always a delight to commentate, aren't they?
They are, and you know, I always get too excited when they run down the field of play.
Are you saying I didn't get excited enough there, Conrad?
Absolutely. It's just I get far too excited. It's like, you know, repeating myself and sort of getting carried away with the commentary. You were composed as ever.
Jordy Hedges added his 3rd goal. He's looking composed as well, by the way, Conrad. 22 points to 6 in favour of the visitors from Doncaster. So Hedges with 3 goals to his name. And we're back on the halfway line waiting the restart. Do you remember that you can tweet us by using the hashtag #OurLeague, and we'll look to mention you over the course of the commentary in this second half as Doncaster carry the ball forward back into contact, 15 metres away from their own line. Cross picks up, sends it to his right hand side to Connor Scott. He's done an impressive job as well, hasn't he, Connor Scott, since he's gone on. Really solidified that middle.
He absolutely has. He's caught my eye. He's done a nice few touches, you know, nice few runs from dummy half.
Osborne with a run there. Next it's Hedges. Feeds it down the left-hand side. There's Owen trying to get between defenders, but they close the gap in front of him well. Cross, waits dummy half duties. Local lad, used to play for Doncaster Toll Bar. And there's Maranka. Carries it just over the halfway line in centre field. Crosses pointing, seeing what's on option. Puts it down the right hand side where the kick comes in, and it's a good one. Well taken by Davies. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication between him and Johnson actually.
Yeah, I almost, you know, sort of panicked for North Wales Crusaders there, but they got you know, caught the ball in the end.
And now Jake Knox trying to clear his lines, but that's a solid hit from Maranka. Stops him in the centre of the field along with Connor Scott. They're wrestling the way forward, clearing the lines pretty well, but I get the feeling they need to be a little bit more adventurous.
Yeah, they do. I thought Jack Houghton did very well there. He's making some good, valuable sort of metres forward, isn't he? He's had some nice touches as Aaron Moore decides to put the kick in, and he tries to turn the fullback and winger, and the ball might be sit up this. No,
it was just about 6 inches too long.
Yeah. Not a bad option though.
It was I like the idea. Tap taken by Doherty. He advances play 15 metres upfield. He'll look to play this to Kieran Cross, who's got Charlie Martin running for him to his left-hand side. I've liked the work that Martin's come up with today. He's been solid, he's been tough, and his best season for Keighley, in my opinion, back in 2016. And there's a mistake there for Tyler. And they play on a 0 tackle. Oh, Jake Knox brushes away from the first tackle. He's smuggled the ball back.
Well, the referee says the advantage. Well, I thought there was no advantage there, but the tackle count will continue as Simon Atherton comes infield. It takes 3 men to tackle him down.
Good drive. Good drive
as always. Aaron Moore.
Is that Norman?
With Norman, yeah. I always get him and
they've got
Stephen Wild.
They've got very similar hairstyles, haven't they? That's where it is. Although I don't think Dan Norman would appreciate that comment, because he's only about 20, isn't he? And
yes.
Stephen Wild's 37 now. He is Wild. Lovely sleight of hand to Norman. That's the two of them combined.
There we are. Can you see the resemblance, folks?
I can see the resemblance. Moore at dummy half. He passes the ball down the right-hand side to Smith. Long ball to Atherton. Checks his run, comes back on the inside, brushes away from Tarley. Tries to escape the clutches of 2 more, but that's a good tackle on the 10-metre line.
Great defence there by Doncaster. Turning him on the back. And I think they've improved their line speed, haven't they, Doncaster?
Lovely hands.
Oh, it's forward, though.
Oh, that was close.
It was close.
That was a close call. That was a close call, and I tell you what, they were struggling to contain Elhurst again, weren't they, on the burst?
He's a dangerous player, as I say, just need to execute a bit better. Simon Atherton is receiving treatment.
He's struggling a bit, isn't he, Atherton? Because he was down on his haunches about 5 minutes into the second half as well, wasn't he, at the other end of the field? 12 minutes of the second half gone. 22 points to 6 in favour of Doncaster in this one. We're on the road next week via the Our League app, actually at Doncaster, where it'll be Doncaster and Workington, our game that the team will be covering.
Yeah, it'll be a juicy game, that.
So this is Dave Parkinson and Conrad Anderson doing our best to bring this game to life for you.
Absolutely, it's a good game.
It's a good game.
I don't think the score really sort of reflects the game. It's just little minor sort of mistakes that North Wales Crusaders are making, which they're sort of making it hard for themselves, aren't they?
At risk of a cliche, Doncaster's took the chances, haven't they?
Absolutely, and being a little bit more clinical as well, and that's all the difference, really.
Is that not the same thing?
I suppose it is.
Clinical and taking chances. I suppose it is, really, isn't it?
I suppose it is.
Oh, he's okay to continue, Atherton. I'm glad about that. Once upon a time of Wigan St Pat's. Surge through the middle there by Jack Sanderson. Fresh pair of legs on the field for Doncaster. Been a versatile performer for them this year. I'm loving this defence of North Wales Crusaders, though. It's all or nothing, isn't it, as Houghton chucked himself in there. Trump is also getting himself involved.
Well, the sun is out now. It's drying the pitch out.
It's a day for all seasons in Wales, isn't it?
And all coach as well.
Doncaster stopped 30 metres away from their own line. Owen at dummy half. Ducks down the right, sees there's nothing doing, comes back to the left, takes a heavy hit as well. Tell you what, North Wales Crusaders, we're really pleased with the pressure they've been able to put Doncaster under in this set. It's forced Hedges to kick from well inside his own 40. It's a long kick downfield. Davies gets back to collect. Picks his spot to run at. Takes on Hedges.
That was a good set defensively by North Wales Crusaders. They'll be happy with that. What can they do with ball in hand?
As former Leigh Miners player Jake Knox disappears underneath that challenge from Martin. Atherton. Again, I'm really appreciating the effort that he's come up with, because he's obviously struggling a little bit, but he's took that run in with great gusto.
Absolutely.
Smith out wide to Ashall, out further wide.
This is where North Wales Crusaders are dangerous.
Hurst put down just inside the field of play. Good 10-metre surge by Hurst again. Moore passes infield to Wild. Wild looks for an offload. Lovely sleight of hand there from Warren Thompson. He won't like that pass though. It's been picked up by Tally, who then puts it down. and no advantage. We're going to get a scrum down, head and feed to Doncaster. Thought we were on for a breakaway then for a
No, it's for North Wales.
Oh, so they must have got hands in there, mustn't they?
Yeah. I just think that Simon Atherton is struggling a bit, isn't he? He's sort of...
I mean, they've gone big on the bench as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, generally the other three big fellas, Dan Norman, Brad Brennan and Joe Bate, they're all middles, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And Atherton's a wide-running player, isn't he?
He is. But North Wales Crusaders get a fresh set from the scrum, but the referee not happy with how the scrum was fed, I think. So we restart.
You're not saying there's going to be a feeding call sometime soon, are you? That would be taking the clock back. Whoa, and the Tommy Johnson has put the ball down. It floated just in front of him. All he had to do was just run onto it, and instead he stretched out his hand and the ball went dead.
Yeah, it's a coach killer, that, isn't it? You know, where you think the North Wales Crusaders are going to come into the game. First opportunity, they drop the ball, and Doncaster are let off the hook, aren't they?
Yeah, now it's Doncaster ball. I can call that for certain now, can't I?
You can indeed.
22 points to 6. 4 tries to 1 in favour of the visitors. And it's going to be Howden to feed. Now, Howden at one point was the youngest Super League pro when he was called into the first team at Castleford at the age of 16. He didn't play, but he trained regular.
And that's it, you know, for many of these players that, you know, want to see themselves as a rugby league sort of professional player, getting access to sort of, you know, this full-time environment, you know, it only does them good. And, you know, we're referring to Alid, you know, he's been around this the professional sort of culture of the club for a while, and North Wales Crusaders pounce on that ball from a Doncaster mistake this time.
Yeah, you mentioned there about coach killers. That'll be Richard Horn with an extra grey hair now, won't it, after that one? Little offload that was never really on, to be honest. But fair play to Crusaders. They were quick onto it, and they've won a penalty now because Ali Davies was taken a little high.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that was just through his own belligerent running, wasn't it? That he's won that penalty, and he's won it really well. Kick to touch by Ashall.
Yeah, not a bad boost on that, is it? You know, buys a few 10 to 15 metres.
And here's Warren Thompson. Been around these parts for a little while now, hasn't he, Warren?
He has.
Hudson's back on. And immediately the ball's on that left-hand side with Hurst. Wrapped up by 3, turned over on his back as well. Somebody's took a knock in the backfield there. I think it might have been halfback Ashall.
Ashall, yeah. And if he's can't continue to play, that will be a disappointing. Hudson runs up the line himself, finds Ryan Smith, who sort of drops it because that was the line speed for you for Doncaster, and they are stretching their legs now.
Tarley going downfield to the halfway line. Good run, good response from Doncaster. Sanderson's in at dummy half, and a bit of messing around from Wild, who you think a man of his experience would know a little bit better than that, but
absolutely.
He concedes the penalty to give Doncaster some great field position.
Yeah, I can see what Stephen Wild was trying to do, trying to slow the game down, making sure their defence was reorganised. Tom Crashley not having any of it.
Yeah, once again, this kick taken a little bit too quick for everyone's liking, so Hedges gets another go, and he's hit it in exactly the same place. So it's going to be Kieran Cross to tap it, 30 metres away from the try line. It's got Charlie Martin just to his right-hand side, Tarley out to the left. Brings it down the left to Tarley. Solid run. Taking on the smaller man in Trumper. Here's Hedges. Wide pass. Now Howden. Been impressed with his kicking game and his general control of the game. Jordan Howden.
Yeah, absolutely. He has impressed me, actually.
Cross darts down the right-hand side. Does he need any support? He's almost to the try line. They're trying to get him over the touch line now. And eventually he yields just a couple of metres out, and a couple of metres out from touch as well. Long ball to the middle. Howden releases it further to Keswick. Good movement from Doncaster. It's now with Sanderson. Sanderson ducking one way, then ducking the other, now straightening up. On a season-long loan from Hull is Sanderson. Big things expected of him. Keswick picks up from dummy half. Hedges, short ball for Tarley. Tarley offloads, and then is that an error from Atherton on the deck?
I think it may be, you know.
Head and feet to Doncaster. The pressure just won't go away, will it? It's incessant.
Yeah. Again, they're riding their luck a little bit, aren't they, Doncaster? It's coming off. The pass, it wasn't on, but it had Simon Atherton caught it cleanly. Maybe he would have been herring down the field of play, but Doncaster will have another set here, and you just feel that the barn door is creaking for North Wales Crusaders.
So, Doncaster have another opportunity. Comes out of the base from Cross to Keswick. Keswick throws a dummy. Long serving player. 8 tries so far this season from 24 previous appearances. He'll play it to Cross. Now Connor Scott. Wide ball. Out to Hedges. The defence moved up well on Hedges there. 3 men in. All of them eventually clamping him down.
Yeah, penalty. They've won a penalty there.
What was that for Conrad?
Well, I think he just pushed the player off, the Crusaders tackler off, and once the tackle's completed, he needs to. Basically, when he was trying to get off, it was. That's my interpretation of it.
That's okay. I'm happy with that. I'll go with you. That's fine. Tap taken by Crusaders, 30 metres out from their own line, pushing their way forward, looking to make it past halfway in this set. Long serving Hudson, over 100 appearances for him, passes to his left hand side. Ashall gets rid of it. And there's Jack Houghton underneath that tackle. Quick play the ball. Earlhurst has it again. Tell you what, Conor Bauer will be having nightmares of facing Earlhurst away at them two. It's been a good contest between those two, actually, hasn't
contact,
it?
And that's what he can do. Give the ball to Earlhurst early, give him space, and he will run.
Yep, Ashall linking with Smith. Bringing it down this right-hand side through Atherton, who's got between defenders. Thought for a second he was clear. I think he did as well, to be honest. Hedges hung on for grim life. As the kick comes in. Oh, no pressure, to be honest, over on that far side for Sam Doherty. A man rewarded with a new contract. Came through the system at Wakefield. Also played in the Queensland Cup as well. There's not many players in this country who can say they played Queensland Cup, is there?
He did, and I think he's only, 21, 22?
Yeah, he's not so old. Another one of these young players that Doncaster have plenty of. Solid surge through that middle. Sensible work that from Doncaster. And in particular, the centre on that side, Bauer. Now working it down this left-hand side, trying to find a gap, but the defence is good. It's Shewer from Atherton.
Yeah, the North Wales Crusaders defence has muscled up a little bit, hasn't it? They're stopping these runs.
Ross Spears is back on for a second stint. He carries Doncaster to the halfway line, and now on the last tackle, kick comes in from Jordan Howden. It'll bounce up. Ooh, juggled by that man Ali Davis, but he does well. Carries it back to contact, 20 metres from his own line. Ashall moves the ball into centre field. Tommy Johnson, hair flowing, put down, 25 metres out from his own line. Now Jake Knox. Now he's the son of Simon Knox, who played for lots and lots of different clubs during the 1990s and 2000s.
He's had a good game, actually. So, he's had some nice touches, I think.
Yeah, he's been in and out of the squad, hasn't he?
He has.
North Wales this season. I know he only joined them, didn't he, about March time?
Something like that.
Now bringing it through the middle of North Wales.
Johnny Walker.
Another long-serving player.
Yeah.
It's really nice that there's some players that were around from the formation year still involved. As the kick goes high from Ashall, I'll come back to that point. Well taken by Davies, who gets it back to Ashall. Ashall flicks a pass to Wild. Wild keeps it moving to Smith. Long ball out to Knox. Knox has a bit of open pasture in front of him, then puts a little bit of a kick in, and it goes out of play. But we've got a penalty because someone was taken out in backfield.
Well, Tom Crash is playing the advantage there. He's bringing it back. Yeah, I think you're right there. Someone taken out, but
yeah, I'll come.
Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, so they were pushing their way forward, coming forward well, weren't they? And then it all got a little bit hectic on this last play, you could say, couldn't it? As it went to the left-hand side, the kick went up. Davies recovered it, really good catch, passes it back in field, and then it was from this movement where, he got taken out in the back, didn't he? I think it might have been Maranka who put the kick, put the effort in on him.
Absolutely.
So, penalty in favour of North Wales Crusaders. Can they force their way over the try line? Can they get within touching distance? There's Warren Thompson, was in the League One Team of the Year back in 2013 when he played for Rochdale Hornets. So there's just a display of what he can come up with. We know what this fella can do. Hurst looking dangerous again, takes 3 to bring him down within 10 metres of the line, about 5 metres in from touch. Long ball from Hudson to the middle. Was that a little dummy from Thompson? Oh, he's then gone and lost it in the tackle, trying to get a flick offload away, and they've worked it out to Tarley as quick as you like of Doncaster, still inside their own 20-metre line though. Still 22 points to 6 in favour of the Doncaster side, and Charlie Martin clears his lines.
And that's the difference, isn't it? North Wales Crusaders have had their opportunities to attack in good field position, but again, forcing the pass, which isn't on, you know what I mean?
They have, you're right, and they've looked good at certain points, haven't they, North Wales, but just not had the end product at the back of it. Here's Doncaster though, rolling forward, passing the ball down that right-hand side. That's our man Connor Bauer. Does well there. He was another player that came through at Hull. Much was expected of him. Former Skirler player as well. Good solid surge through the middle from Maranka. 40 metres out from the try line, Doncaster. You fancy it's another kick coming in now from Howden. Keeps it low, angles it to the corner. Davies is learning. Didn't go for that one.
No, he didn't. But I thought, I thought we all were expecting a high kick there, but it was a nice little grubber, sort of to slow the game down. And again, Doncaster want to sort of, dictate the pace of this game.
You could describe that kick in 2 ways, couldn't you? A, it was a metre eater. As it went forward and trickled into touch, and B, it kind of like just slows the clock down a little bit, doesn't it?
Does.
And plays it at the pace, like you said, that they wanted to play at.
But that's good game management, isn't it? You know, with about 15 minutes to go in this game, roughly. It's Doncaster eating the clock, working the percentages, saying if you want to score, you've got to run 90 odd metres.
Yeah, and Alex Trumper chalks off 15 metres of those down that right-hand side. He's worked hard as well, to be fair. Again,
so another player that's Simon Appleton.
Another player that's had his hands full with Jason Tarley. Now Smith drops it back for Wild, who feeds it out to Atherton. Atherton tries to brush away from Tarley, but there's numbers there, but he smuggles the ball out. Good work this from Hudson. Pushing forward beyond halfway.
Yeah, 3 on 2 there.
Quick play the ball to Trumper. Infield it comes, and it's Ryan Smith. He'll be disappointed with that. Kicks the ball away in frustration. Nearly gets a goal with it.
Yeah, again, a loose pass, sort of a knock on. Again, these mistakes don't normally happen, with these type of players, but it's.
So before the start of this game, Doncaster needed just a point to secure the playoff aspiration. As it stands at the moment, they look like they're going to get it, don't they?
They do, and they've been the better team overall, haven't they?
What we should maybe explain is that the top team from League One gets promoted, and then 2 through to 6 go into a playoff, and then the winner of that playoff gets promoted. The loser in the final will then play the bottom team in the Championship Shield, for who will take part in a expanded championship next season.
Yeah, part of the new restructure of the league.
It's going to be exciting. This is exciting from Doncaster. The ball going out. They're going to go in. And I tell you what, that is a great, great try down that right-hand side. Lovely passing. And scoring right at the corner.
Yeah, it was crisp, wasn't it?
Again, sort of lovely hands moving that ball down that right-hand side.
Yeah.
Sam Doherty, the man who crossed at the corner, showed a good clean pair of heels there, didn't he?
He did, yeah, but again, a lovely pass, saw the space, and he just finished it off, didn't he?
So that's Doherty's 11th try of the season.
It all came from the knock-on from Ryan Smith, and obviously from the resulting scrum. It was just a set move, wasn't it?
So Geordie Hedges looking to convert, lining it up. Thought it was just really good work, this, to be honest, by Doncaster as they got the ball down that right hand side.
Well, we're waiting for the conversion.
He's taking his time, but why not?
Absolutely. Quick play of the ball. It was a set move, wasn't it? Really.
Brought the ball back through the middle, didn't they, initially, and then initiated by Keswick.
Yeah, Keswick had his hands there. Lovely pass. This was the ball here. This was the money ball. Released him. Back pass. Great try for Sam Doherty.
Yeah. I like the way that Hedges attempts the conversion. He kind of almost creeps up on the ball. Not successful, but the advantage has been stretched out to 26 points to 6.
Well, the home faithful is letting the Doncaster player who missed the conversion know. He's missed it. Hard kick, to be fair, because the wind picked up at that point.
It's also off the touchline as well.
It's off the touchline, yes.
Ooh, they're really hard on him there. So, game back underway. Doncaster back in possession, bringing it through the centre of the field. 15 metres out from their own line. Keswick works dummy half again. Passes to his left-hand side to Ryan Boyle. 5 caps for Ireland for Ryan Boyle during his career. Keswick works the blind side with Charlie Martin. Again, some good work and some good tackling by Trumper and Smith. Hedges runs across the middle. Drops it back for the supporting run of Russ Spears up to the halfway line of Doncaster. They'll be happy with the work they've done so far in this set. Hedges works this left-hand side. Lovely pass for Tarley. Tarley smuggles it out for Martin. Martin brushes away from one. Tries to get away from a second. That's a good tackle, though.
Yeah, they need to stop this offload, North Wales Crusaders. Obviously, Doncaster wanting to run riot.
Last tackle. Howden kicks it high. Kicks it towards Davies.
Well taken.
Davies took it really well. Yeah, confident take from the young man there. I think he's going to have a long first-team career in front of him, to be honest.
He is. Earl Hurst gets away from one, or tried to get away from one. He takes the tackle eventually.
He half broke the tackle, didn't he? And thought, I'd best go down here.
Yeah.
Joe Bate with that latest carry.
Hudson at acting halfback. He will find Ashaw. Inside pass to Warren Thompson. Will find Tommy Johnson. Tommy Johnson is running and eventually hold. Takes 3 Doncaster men to pull him down. There's a Doncaster player down in back play as well. So they are temporarily down to 12 men at the minute.
Great
Warren
run.
Thompson making hay when the sunshine. 5th and last tackle. Ashall pass to Smith. Smith pass to Thompson, and then it's Houghton. Houghton scores, and that was lovely hands there by North Wales Crusaders. Just shows what they can do when it's clicking, and great team try.
Beautiful work. I mean, there was a good 4 passes involved in that play, wasn't there? And Houghton goes over for another try for his campaign. I was doing the stats on him before I sat out today, and he's got 8 tries now for his season.
Yeah, and he would take that one. Great try, that. Great hands.
Considering it's his first season as a first-team player, because he signed from Widnes, didn't he?
He did.
He'll be pretty happy with what he's come up with, won't he?
Absolutely. Many of these players are signing on for next year, aren't they? So Anthony Murray, much of the focus on next year, obviously knows that North Wales Crusaders' position on the table can't move, so he is using these games, last 2 remaining games, this one and the one next week against Keighley, to blood these players, tries to give them minutes.
That'll be quite an ominous game against Keighley, won't it? I mean, they won 112-6 yesterday against West Wales.
Yeah, it is, and West Wales are doing it tough, aren't they? But they got Kim Williams coming in, and he'll probably bring reinforcements. As Tommy Johnson slots this one over, flags go up.
We needn't have worried that he kicked that or not, did we? Because he's just a class kicker.
He is.
2 goals for him this afternoon, takes him to 63 for the season. And you were just talking there about retention, and it's interesting looking that North Wales have confirmed Gavin Conroy for next season, Carl Ashall, Simon Atherton, Kenny Baker, Brad Brennan, Lee Hudson and Tommy Johnson so far, with Rob Masson returning as well.
Absolutely, Anthony Murray, one eye on next year, wants to sort of bring most of the club, together, keep the most of the club together, and obviously look to add to that.
Doncaster too have gone through the period of retention. currently on contract for next year are Connor Bauer, Kieran Cross, Brad England, Connor Scott, Richard Owen, Jason Tarley, Sam Doherty, Russ Spears, Kyle Keswick, Ryan Boyle and Geordie Hedges. All stop him.
Loose pass there by North Wales Crusaders, lose the momentum. But Warren Thompson tries to make some meters back, and tackle is taken eventually.
Tough tackle that as well, wasn't it, by Keswick?
Wild will find Smith. Smith gets away from one, finds Simon Appleton, who gets away from one himself, comes inside.
He's still going.
He's a handful, manages to put the ball away. Referee says play on.
Here's Trumper, lovely step in.
Kicks the ball alive to Ryan Smith. This is what North Wales Crusaders can do. Tackle completed.
Ashall grounded, 25 out from the try line. Hudson at dummy half. Passes to his left to Smith. Long ball. Out to Earlhurst. And he juggled with it.
He did juggle with it.
And that was a disappointing last tackle play, wasn't it?
It was, but it was a wide pass. You can see what he was doing, trying to find Earlhurst on the outside there. But he did well to sort of lean forward to get it, and obviously...
I think he's hurt himself down there as well, hasn't he? Diving for it.
Yeah.
It was an athletic dive, wasn't it, to be fair?
It was, but they've showed glimpses, haven't they, North Wales Crusaders, in the last 5 minutes, what they can do, and just play rugby, enjoy yourself. They've scored some good tries. So Doncaster, to be fair.
Currently 12 points to the Crusaders, 26 to Doncaster.
Earlhurst is okay. Puts his hand up and says, "Yeah, I'm finishing this game, coach." That's Doncaster. Ball in hand now.
30 metres out from their own line. Keswick taking over at dummy half. Passes to the middle, to his left-hand side to find Richard Owen, who's been really solid this afternoon, hasn't he? The full-back, vastly experienced, plenty of time in Super League during his career.
Yeah, from Castleford, isn't he? Former Castleford.
Yeah, and Wakefield as well. Here's Osborne. Crashed to the turf, 40 metres from his own line. Maranka, lovely late pass there for some port.
I think Maranka's been solid as well.
He's had a really good game, hasn't he?
He knows when to pass it, though, doesn't he?
How
to put the players through.
Passing down that right-hand side. Is there a high shot there, or is it forward? Certainly the touch judge has his flag up there. Into the dying embers of this game now. It is going to be a further penalty heading the way of Doncaster. They'll be looking for 30 points on the board. 5 tries for them this afternoon through Russ Spears, through Jason Tarley, through Richard Owen, Aaron Jones-Bishop and Sam Doherty. Dabbed into touch there by Howden. Remember, you can have your final say on this game by #OurLeague on Twitter. Connor Scott opening it out to Howden. Howden running cross field. Link him with Sanderson. Oh, he nearly skirted around the outside there, Sanderson. He'll play this ball to Tarley. Tarley goes blindside.
He's over,
Tarley's got it down. That's 22 tries for the season for Jason Tarley. Man mountain in that centre. Getting through, and Doncaster have their 30 points.
Yeah, he just muscled his way over, didn't he? It was nothing on, really, just upper body strength. And basically he said, I'm getting over this whitewash, and forced his way over and plumped the ball down. Again, led from a penalty from North Wales Crusaders. They went through some hands, and Tarley says thank you very much.
Once again gives a conversion attempt, and we've got a changing kicker as well. We've got Jack Sanderson attempting the goal. It's a difficult one for Sanderson. He's kicked 10 goals this season for Doncaster, as well as his 10 tries that he'd scored prior to today.
See how he goes with this one then.
Sets himself. I always like watching kickers. They've all got their own little routines, haven't they? As he sweeps in.
Has he got the length?
Oh, he's not quite got the accuracy.
I know, talking about technique, Mark Sneed has a unique technique, doesn't he?
He turns his back on the ball, doesn't he?
He does.
Is there anybody in League One that I should look out for with a similar sort of boot?
I can't think of anyone.
Can you not? Right, okay. I'll keep my eyes open.
If you know, guys, at home, get us on the old Twitter and let us know.
Hashtag our league is what you need to know. Into the closing stages of this game. Almost 40 minutes up on the board according to my stopwatch, which isn't accurate. So here come Doncaster again and Connor Scott. I suppose it's that time of game though, Conrad, where we should start thinking about who would be your man of the match for both of these sides.
It's going to be difficult. I think with North, let's start with Doncaster. Impressed with Jason Marenka, how he settles things down. Connor Bauer has been okay as well. Connor Scott. But I've got to go for Ross Osborne, I think.
All right,
I think Ross Osborne has been a solid
big
player.
Big
impact player. I think when Doncaster were sort of getting rattled in the first half, he comes on and settles it down. And from that, really, Doncaster sort of never looked back, really, did they?
They kind of took command, didn't they, really, after he went on. And
who would you give it to North Wales?
I'll tell you in just a minute, because it looks like something's opening up. That looked like a forward pass from Howden out to his outside backs. You couldn't blame him for throwing it, but it did drift forward, and probably the easiest decision that Tom Crashley has had to make, the Wakefield official, over the course of this game.
Well, I think the home faithful helped him, though, didn't they?
It probably did.
Yeah.
It probably did. Yeah, they certainly let him know, didn't they? I think from a Crusaders point of view, I've been impressed with Carl Ashall, I've been impressed with Lee Hudson. I've liked what Warren Thompson has brought to the game, but I'm going to go with Simon Atherton because he's toughed it out and he's really caused a handful. He's been a handful for his opposition, hasn't he?
Good shout, that. Anyway, can North Wales Crusaders end on a high note? Tommy Johnson takes the tackle.
And this is, of course, North Wales' last home game of the season, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Trumper down this right-hand side. Wrapped up the former St Helens and Rochdale man. Used to play at Thatto Heath.
Well, Ryan Smith was undecided what to do there. He managed to force the pass out and found Joe Bate, who just about fled. Well, thanks, mate. Thanks for the tackle.
I don't think Bate would thank him for that pass, would he, really? Here's Brennan trucking his way forward.
Yeah, he's a good player. Brad Brennan, obviously former Coventry player.
Once upon a time a Warrington Academy as well, going far enough back as Ashall gets it back to Hurst. Hurst gets through one, Orlogs burst through the middle, 12 metres out from the try line. Last tackle signalled here. Can Crusaders get another try on the board as it's passed right to Smith? Smith out further wide to Trumper, checks his run, gets the ball back on the inside to Johnson. Johnson looks up, he's got half his teammates in front of him. Gets away from two tacklers, slips the ball out to Ashall. Oh, this is great movement. Out to Hurst.
Hurst
in the corner.
No
try.
Denied.
No try. And then someone's going to get Simbin here because they've pulled back a Doncaster player as he's raced forward to try and take the quick tap. You can't do that. And it's a late Simbin in here for, I think it's Horton. Yeah, it's Houghton. Houghton's been Simbin. Tap taken on the 20-metre line. Howden taps it. Being brought down that right hand side. They were so close, weren't they, to getting a try on that occasion. Doncaster playing the ball in the centre of the field. Ooh, big hit coming in there from Brad Brennan. Big mean hit that.
Yeah, I think the touch judge called it right there, looking at the pictures we've got.
And as I say, Houghton got himself sin-binned for just reaching out and slowing. I think it was Aaron Jones-Bishop as he was trying to get out to that 20-metre line. But forward come Doncaster now, still in command on the scoreboard as well. 30 points to 12. Russ Osborne, big run right over the top. See you later, he said to the player in front of him. As Keswick works it to the right hand side, kick comes in from Howden. It's a lovely kick.
Well, the touch judge is on here.
I wonder what he spotted.
Was
there a late
was a player taken out, or Tom Crossley will have the committee meeting with him now, and he's going to give a penalty to Doncaster for taking the player out.
Yeah, shoulder charge. You can't do that in the modern game. Went out about 3 or 4 years ago, that, didn't it?
It did.
So just dab it into touch to Doncaster as we play on, well into stoppage time. Got 44 minutes on my stopwatch here as Connor Scott rolls forward. Lovely offload from him to Keswick. Here's Osborne. Osborne will they hold him out? He's still heading try line bound. They have held him out. He's held up over the line.
Yeah, good scrambling defence there with North Wales Crusaders. You know, they haven't given up, have they? They've played rugby, they've thrown the ball about
Back to the 10-metre line for the tackle count to resume. Keswick works it back to Scott. Tell you what, one of these two big guys deserves a try for their efforts this afternoon. Scott's put down very, very close. Keswick moves into dummy half again. He's got Osborne running for him. Osborne feeds it out. Lovely delayed pass. Short ball. And is that Charlie Martin piercing through the defence underneath the post? I think it was. Charlie Martin getting between defenders and coming up with a fine effort there. 5th try of the season for him.
At the end of the game, the Crusaders players will be staying at the stadium.
So Crusaders conceded a try. Let's look at this. We're just looking at our pictures. I thought they did well there, Crusaders, to snuff him out, but it was a quick play of the ball. Here we go. Yeah, number 18.
Was Charlie Martin. I'm glad my eyesight didn't deceive me. Sanderson tags on the extras. 36 points to 12. The scoreline's starting to run away a little bit from Crusaders now, and I'm not sure whether or not they deserve it.
No, as you say, it's been a current, a running theme throughout this game. It's just Doncaster have been the better team. They've been the most clinical team, haven't they? North Wales Crusaders forcing the pass too much, probably, Dave. And you can't fault their effort though. They've thrown the ball about, scored some good tries, but Doncaster, they'll move on, dust themselves down, and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, but we've also got another game involving Doncaster next week on the Our League app, when they take on Workington Town, and Workington themselves a tough prospect, as I certainly saw at first hand when we covered their game up at York. But that's the final hooter. It has been blown. It is a victory for Doncaster, who get the points that they require to ensure they've got a spot in the playoffs into the final stages of the season. And according to Richard Horn, they've just got to keep winning now.
But you know what, though, winning becomes a habit, Dave. They've broken an all-club record now. That's number 9 on the list.
And how fantastic is that? And how fantastic that we've been able to see it. We've witnessed it. People at home watching on the Our League app, or wherever they've been watching and consuming the game, they have also seen history made today.
Absolutely. But Doncaster deserved it. They're well structured, well drilled. Scored some great tries. Lovely passes, combinations, reverse passes. I thought it was a gritty performance from Doncaster, and they were the best team. North Wales Crusaders, they turned up to play as well. First 30 minutes, it was nothing in the first 20 minutes, shall we say? It was, it just went on, set for set. As I say, Doncaster were a lot more clinical. North Wales Crusaders weren't. Passing the ball. 2 tries were given by loose passes, weren't they? So that was a 12-point turnaround. So North Wales Crusaders can't complain, but I think pretty happy. I think Muzz will be with the performance overall, the effort.
So Doncaster scoring tries this afternoon through Russ Spear, Jason Tarley, who grabbed 2, Richard Owen also going in before half time. Second half, it opened up a little bit, to be honest, after a really tight opening, which saw Jones Bishop go 90 metres for a spectacular getting on the end of one of those loose passes that Conrad was referring to. Sam Doherty added a try 15 minutes from the end. There was a response by Houghton for the North Wales Crusaders. That was goaled by Johnson, who ended with 2 goals to his name. Tarley got in for his second try, and then the victory was crowned through Charlie Martin just before the end there. Sanderson kicking 1 goal, Hedges kicking 3. That's the final analysis. That's us done and dusted as far as this game is concerned.